Mom sees weird pup approach her. Her dog rushes in before it's too late. When Dolly first saw the tiny gray pup skulking into her backyard, she thought it was a distressed dog. A dog lover, she wasted no time rushing out back to lend it a hand. But she was already a few steps from the porch when she realized her terrible mistake. The animal growled at her and charged. It was too late to do anything now. Dolly craned her neck to get a better look outside the door. She saw a gray animal running past the grass toward her backyard. Setting her novel aside, she hurried out of the living room and into the kitchen. She hoped to see what she was dealing with. She left Wally, who was deep asleep, behind. That was her first mistake. Dolly opened the kitchen window and looked outside. The backyard was empty. But she caught something in the corner of her eye, the gray creature she'd seen earlier. Was it a dog? It sure looked like one. Dolly hurried out of the kitchen to see if she could lend the pup a hand. It would be too late when she realized what the animal was. Closing the kitchen door behind her, Dolly walked onto the porch. She tried calling out to the animal, but it just stood there, looking blankly at her. Hoping not to scare it off, she took a slow step toward it. When it didn't budge, she took another step with her hand held out. But the creature, which had been calm at first, snarled at her. It lunged. The animal jumped on Dolly, biting her sleeve. She tried to shake it off, but its drooling canines were firmly embedded into the fabric. With a shriek, she shook the animal off again, but nothing. She shoved it off with her free arm and turned on her heels, but the creature was too fast. Its fangs dug into her trouser. With the animal dragging behind her, growling and thrashing wildly, Dolly froze in place. She'd now realized she was dealing with a rabid fox, not a puppy. But out of nowhere, she heard Wally's bark, a loud and reassuring sound that gave her the strength she needed to regain control of her body. But her nightmare had only begun. Wally barked on the kitchen window, barred from coming out by the closed porch door. But although he growled and snarled fiercely, the fox didn't let go of Dolly's leg. Her dog barked until, seemingly fed up, kept quiet. Dolly turned around, finding the kitchen window empty. She was in this alone. With a crippling panic setting in, Dolly tried to fight off the fox. She was losing hope when Wally appeared out of nowhere, taking the gray animal off her leg and chasing it away. The two raced all over the yard before the fox turned toward the driveway to escape. But Wally was determined to teach it a lesson it would never forget. Wally bit one of the fox's hind legs, ruffling it before finally letting it go. The fox cried out and disappeared into the bush. When asked how her dog had found a way out of the house, Dolly shared that it had raced to the living room and opened the door by itself before coming to help her. "I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here," she said.